Hi all, today I'm going to talk about same sign relationships, which means dating your own sign. As I told you last time in my last video, I'm going to start a series of relationship videos about astrology because that is something I get so many questions about. That is called synastry in the chart. As usual, you guys, these videos are very simple. There's a lot to astrology. I've been teaching it for years, but for these videos, I'm just going to kind of break down some simple things. Feel free to go ahead and get a free astrology chart, your free natal chart online if you haven't. There are a lot of different resources. All you got to do is Google free natal chart and it'll put your time and date and everything else. And then you can follow along with me. If you're new to astrology, it's going to be super confusing. It's going to be a big chart with a bunch of lines and squares and all kind of stuff and 12 houses, but I will help you through that by watching these videos. So subscribe if you're interested in learning astrology, or you're already into astrology and you just want to kind of learn a little bit more or have a conversation about it. And make sure to hit the notification bell because the notification bell is going to let you know when my videos are coming up. So same sign relationships. So a lot of times people think that would be a great idea, right? Not necessarily. There's good and bad to both. But remember, in the chart, because I do this for a living, the first things I look at is the planet Mars in a female's chart and the planet Venus in a man's chart. So Venus in a man's chart is going to determine what kind of woman he is attracted to. I also look at Mars in the female chart, but I don't want to get too complicated. I'm just going to make this very basic today because it's hard for me not to get complicated because I'm into it. So there's a lot to it. If somebody's Neptune is sitting on somebody's sun, if somebody's Venus is sitting on somebody's moon, obviously there's much to this. But let's go ahead and start with the sign Aries and Aries relationship. These are two fire signs. This can be a lot of fun. These people are a little bit impulsive. You know, they're a little bit, they don't like to wait around. They're not the most patient people in the world, but you know, either are a lot of us, you know, they talk quick, they do things quick. Everything's kind of, you know, let's get this going. Let's get this going. At the best, these people are going to have a great time together. However, negatively, tempers are going to flare. They're not earth signs. Nobody's an earth sign here. So nobody's going to be like calm and cool and collected. Traditionally, fire and air get along and earth and water get along. But of course, there's so much to that. But because we all have different components in our charts. But so these two, positive, exciting, negative, volatile. Basically, that's what's going on. Nobody's really like introspective and being, what did I do wrong? They're just like, you know, I did this. Taurus. These are the earth signs. Now, these are real sensual people ruled by Venus. So, you know, kind of like a Libra, but different than a Libra because Libra is air. This is earth. So they like to go out and drink and eat and have a great time. And, you know, they can be fun in that way. They're a little bit more calm. Maybe too calm sometimes. So when you get these two or a whole bunch of earth together like that, there's can be a lack of pizzazz at times. So it can kind of be like, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? So it's kind of, and there can be overindulgence in this relationship too, because again, Venus can create overindulgence with people. It's a beautiful planet, you know, and it's all about harmony and, you know, nice things and all that kind of stuff. But that relationship can get a little boring. Gemini. So this is an interesting one because it's an air sign. There's going to be between these two, there's going to be a ton of creative ideas flowing, a ton. They talk quick. They think quick. They're all over the place. You know, it's a little bit of an ADD type thing going on with these two. The negative is the other one may not be able to get a word in edgewise, and there could be competitions because of that, because Geminis tend to talk a lot and they talk a lot about themselves. So that's the thing with Gemini. Although they are, you know, fun, they can be fun, especially together. You know, they want to go out in the town, but they got so many ideas that it's hard for them to follow through sometimes with one idea. Cancer, what a sweet combo, right? Two water signs, you know, all lovey-dovey with each other. Oh, they're into the home, cooking, family, whatever. Again, too emotional sometimes and too holding on to each other, holding on to things. Cancer tends to hold on. So, you know, if one of them has some more aspects going on or whatever, even though they're both Cancer suns, that make them want to be a little bit more free, and then they're dealing with a Cancer and that Cancer wants to hold on, there could be issues with that. On the positive though, they can be very nurturing, loving, and supportive of each other. On the negative, it could be too claustrophobic altogether. Leo, this one's kind of obvious, guys. Leos together, they're great. Oh, let's go out. Let's have a party. Blah, blah, blah. You know, oh, everything's on me, whatever. Now, but there's competition there because who's going to get the most attention? Who's going to take center stage, right? So that's the thing with that. Virgo. Another earth sign. So Virgos can be very meticulous and very, analytical. Put two together, it can be great for details, for, let's go into business together and start working on all these details. Terrible as far as critical. So they're both looking all the time at each other's flaws, and they look at their own flaws too, but they tend to, which is fine if we look at our own flaws. When we start to criticize other people, it's annoying and nobody wants to be around them. So Virgo can be very, very critical of each other and critical of other people. On the flip side, these are great for people that want to go in business together. Libra. The thing about Libras is they're like sickly sweet sometimes. Like they always want to keep the peace. But let me tell you, underneath, that's not always the Libra thing. That's a surface level thing. They're all good at sales and schmoozy and everything else. Underneath, there's a whole different thing. So there could be a little bit too, now it could be nice as far as keeping the peace in a relationship. But underneath, like I said, we all have a lot going on in our charts. There could be a side to them where when they blow because they can be super sweet for a while and they can deal with rudeness and stuff like that for a while. But then all of a sudden their dark side comes out and then you see more explosive thing because they're kind of good actors in that way. They act like they like people and situations and stuff like that. Scorpio, this one's going to be obvious too. This is an intense water sign. So two Scorpios together, you know what? You guys are going to absolutely connect. And I know this firsthand. I'm a Scorpio. You're going to get along. But I find with the males, they're a little bit more possessive, a little bit more jealous, a little bit more that possessive and jealous. And with the females, not as much. I have seen some with the females too, but the male of every sign is a little bit more. So Scorpio is a sign that doesn't really like to be controlled by others. And this could be an issue with these two strong personalities. Sagittarius, this is fire. Could be a great, again, kind of like Leo, for having a good time. However, there's a tendency because of the Jupiter, it's ruled by Jupiter, to be excessive, and this can spiral out of control quick. Capricorn. Okay, these two, they're great at work. You know what I mean? They're solid. They have a bad reputation. I don't really know why, because to me they're fun, but they do have a bad reputation. But they could become, again, boring together. Okay, but on the positive, they can really, really move mountains as far as, especially if it's a business partnership, getting things done. They do seem to be slow enough to where they don't jump to conclusions. They're not impulsive like an Aries or something like that. But sometimes it's a little bit too slow, although quicker than Taurus, I would say. So they take their time with things, but they're great for work, obviously ruled by the 10th house. Aquarius, I did my last video on them. You guys know those are the free spirits. So that just is what it is. You're going to see a lot of fun with them too. They will like to travel. They'll like to meet. They're great at working at causes. If they come together and start some organization that's working for causes, that's phenomenal with them. But if somebody's got just a little bit water in their chart and, not so much air, that detachment thing can tear them apart, because a lot of times the grass is always greener with an Aquarius. So they can be always looking for a different situation, a more exciting situation, a more liberating situation. And lastly, Pisces. So this is a sensitive duo, water sign. On the best, these are highly intuitive people. They can really kind of read each other's thoughts. They can, anybody with a strong Neptune is going to be like that. They can kind of feel each other. On the negative, escapist issues. You get these two together, and they can escape can be okay, but it can be bad. There can be some tendencies towards escapist, which can be negative, and they can kind of feed off each other with that. Okay, thanks so much. So next time I'm going to start breaking down these signs in a little more detail. Everybody have a great day.